Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about letting go of old beliefs, old behaviors, and old things that you feel are hindering your growth, stunting your growth, preventing you from stepping into the newest version that you want to identify with and operate under. So oftentimes in life, guys, we have certain belief systems, certain behaviors, certain ways, certain things that we do, right? Certain everyday places we go to that can either hinder our growth or accelerate our growth. So in life, guys, like over the past 6 months, I've really had to ask myself the question when it comes to my job, like, am I gonna really want to stay here for that much longer, right? And that's one of the things I want to really dial in on in this video as it pertains to letting go of the old, right? I've been at my current job for almost 4 years, right? And it just so happens that right now, like, things aren't going as I thought how they were gonna go, right? Like, I had different expectations. I had a different outlook for what was gonna happen, right? And certain things just aren't coming my way, right? Certain things just haven't unfolded the way I would have liked them to. And I'm not saying that I was always like, yeah, man, I want to stay in this job forever. Like, this is my dream job. But I like working at my job, to be honest. Like, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but it's something I can see myself doing for a little while. But at the same time, right, like, you could have had love for someone in a relationship for the longest time, right? But if they don't show the same love back, right, or they start doing things that are like out of the blue, and they start, maybe like not responding to your text, maybe they start arguing, maybe they start yelling, maybe they don't want to listen to you anymore, maybe they want to stop having sex with you, like whatever it is. Like, there's certain things, guys, like you got to realize, and you have to pay attention to, where you'll be having certain expectations for what you want, right, out of a job, out of a relationship, out of whatever, right? And at a certain point, if that thing isn't unfolding like it should, right, like that, intuitively it should, then you have to look and reevaluate and really ask yourself, like, hey, what am I doing here at this point, right? Because oftentimes, like, we have different like thoughts about like what things are going to lead to, right? And then reality slaps us in the face one day, right? Because we all try to develop a positive outlook for things that are difficult, right? But you can't keep banging your head against the wall, right, expecting things to change forever, right? Like, if you are at a job, right, and they're not wanting to invest in you and promote you, and your boss doesn't care about you, doesn't care about his people, then you got to look at it and like be like, hey man, for the type of money I want to get and the type of growth I want, this isn't serving me, right? And you have to not be afraid to quit. You have to not be afraid to walk away. And it's hard at times, because these are typically comfortable environments, right? Job security is a thing for a lot of people, right? Relationship security is a thing for a lot of people, right? If your boyfriend or girlfriend loved you, right, and they always did what you wanted them to do, and they were respectful, right, and they were always there for you, they always responded to you on time, they showed you the love that you wanted, and then one day they just start to slowly distance themselves and not show the same affection, then you got to learn to one day just be like, all right, like, I'm seeing this behavior, or I'm seeing this thing unfold that I'm not really aligning with and resonating with, and I gotta go, right? Like, you just got to know when to leave certain things behind. And it's the hardest thing, because when you're in a relationship for so long, or you're in a job for so long, and you start to develop an identity with that thing, right? And one of the biggest fears that we have is a fear of loss of a loved one, i.e. relationship, or fear of the loss of our life, fear of death, right? So when we leave our job, it's like a fear of death, because we're losing our income, we're losing our like a lot of our jobs, we're familiar with the people we see every day, we're familiar with the job duties, the job tasks, right? So quitting, right, and doing something else is scary because you don't know if you're going to be good at it, right? Like if you're going to quit your job to become an influencer or an artist or a basketball player or a public speaker or someone that's going to do something challenging, well, you're going to be hesitant to leave because it's like, dude, like, yeah, like my job sucks right now, but I don't know if I'm going to succeed at that thing that my heart's daring me to go dive into, right? But guys, like, the universe doesn't reward shy people. The universe doesn't favor people who are going to be overly like hesitant, right? So sometimes, you know, it's good to plan and it's good to really like think about your decision, but eventually, guys, you got to jump and make a decision, right? Because you don't want to live life, right? A lot of people who are just content with being average, a lot of people like that, they just are content with like being in one lane and not stepping into the lane to the left or to the right of them because it's comfortable, right? Sorry, someone's calling me. God, every time I make a video, someone calls me. But anyways, yeah, so like you gotta make sure like that if you are getting the sign inside from within that it's time to move on, right? And you're feeling it every single day, you're feeling the burden of making a decision, you got to make that decision because that's God. God speaks to us through feeling and intuition. God doesn't speak through us really through logic, right? He speaks through us through revelation and feeling, right? So if you feel that it's time to move on, if you feel like it's time for something else and something else is popping up, right? And the progress and something else is starting to develop, right? Then you have to be like, okay, like enough's enough, right? And you eventually got to pull the trigger, right? You can't sit around waiting for the right time. The right time really doesn't exist, right? I mean, I know we have certain financial things that could hold us back from making a decision, but bro, if you have the money, right, saved up, if you have certain things in place, if you have certain investments in place, right, and you feel like it's time for you to move on to something else, then you got to go for it, man. Like you really have to just go for it because like I said, the repercussions of not going for it are very severe, right? It's really miserable, right? Knowing that you need to make a decision, right? Like the feeling you get from indecision, the feeling you get from not jumping out on faith is very, it feels very, how do I say? Every day it feels like you're suffocating, right? And every day it feels like you're gasping for more air, right? So when you make that decision, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like you can finally breathe again, right? So I want you guys to really consider whatever it is in your life that you currently aren't really enjoying or aren't really feeling like you're moving forward in, whether it's a relationship, a job, a career, or something. I challenge you to really look and expand your horizons, right? I don't know what that will look like for you, but what I can say is that there's more out there for you than you think there is, right? We have such a we've been programmed to be we have such a scarcity mindset when it comes to money, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to all sorts of things, right? And I want to say that, like, bro, if the girl that you've been dating has started to withdraw from you and she doesn't like you anymore, you got to let it go because there's other girls that will love you and respect you and want to be with you, right? Same thing with a job. If there's a job that you didn't freaking like get the promotion or you didn't like get what you wanted out of it, there's other jobs out there that will suffice, right? And then, you know, you can also, if you feel the calling, you can start a business, you can start a YouTube channel, you can start a SoundCloud where you post rap videos. Like there's so much like you can do, but it's our fear of the unknown. It's our fear of what if this doesn't work out that stops us from taking action, right? So I've been making a lot of videos kind of related to this topic lately, but I think it's something that's been on my mind as of late, and it's something that I think a lot of you guys can get value from because you can be as consistent as you want in something, right? But if you feel like it's not going to be something you can do long term, right? If it's a relationship that you can't commit to long term, God will give you the message, right? God will let you know by giving you that sign, right? And that sign typically comes in the form of a feeling, right? And comes in the form of like, damn, dude, this is just not gonna be it for me, right? And a lot of the times when I've had to make tough decisions, right, like God has placed the feeling in my heart, right, and let me know like, hey dude, like you're feeling this pain right now because you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be involved in this, you're not supposed to be living here or doing this thing, right? So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. Oh, by the way, if you guys have school, right, you can join my free school down below. I have 2 free courses in there that I think you guys will love. So I'm going to post that in the link for that will be in the description. There's a lot of, I'm trying to get a lot of like-minded men and people who think alike together so we can, really take over in 2025 and really start to live our best lives. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.